obviously, when you get up 19, the first 10 minutes of the game, you'd like to close the next 30 out a lot better than we did. But, with the guys that we had, down the players that we were down, I'm happy we got to win. We're going to have to work on our defensive mentality playing with a lead. But when we ended up, Clemson's good. They're going to win a lot of games this year, and they're tough. They're a veteran group. Any team coached by Brad's not going to quit. We knew that. We tried to tell our guys that at the half, and then the first two possessions of the second half, we give up transition layups, and then we're in a dogfight from there. But to get down one and then shoot with, I think we're down one with less than 3 minutes to go and finish on an 8-1 run. We made some big stops late when we needed them. I think, Aiden Sherrell's really coming. He's in the practice gym working on his free throws right now, but if he'd have made his free throws, he'd have been 2 blocks shy of a triple-double. So for a kid that only had 7 blocks all of last year to have 5 last game, 8 this game, like he's doing what we need him to at the rim. And we offensively, we were good enough. I didn't like the way we were to close the first half or start the second half, and I thought their switching caused us some problems, and we need to be better with it. But we've got a lot of offensive firepower on the bench, and Holloway, right? So, Keaton's all over the offensive boards. And Jaleel was on a minutes restriction, and would have been nice to maintain that 20-point lead to get him more minutes tonight. But, we've got a lot of offensive firepower that didn't play, but we still had enough in there to get the job done. So, big win against a pretty good team. I think right now the SEC's tied this thing up with 3 wins tonight. Hopefully I think there's, 3 games going still? Is that what it is? Hopefully we can get some more wins and end up winning this challenge. But, they gave us everything we could handle tonight, and you got to give them a lot of credit. But, I thought our fans were huge in the second half when we needed some stops. I thought some guys made some winning plays. I think Amari Allen made a lot of tough plays. Aiden Sherrell's defensive blocks made some tough plays. So we're seeing some good things out of some of the guys that we're growing. And when we add the pieces back in, I think we got a chance to be a pretty good team.
How impressed have you been just with the maturity of Amari and him being able to step up in his increased role tonight with guys out?
Yeah, he just first double-double in his career, but certainly won't be the last because he's been pushing them pretty frequently. I think it's a guy that if he can get some defensive rebounds and we push and we, get Holloway and Reitzel back, put some shooting around him, like he's going to end up with a triple-double. I would think that that's pretty likely with the way he rebounds it, scores it, and we put some shooting around him. So, he's been a winner since the day he walked on. He was super competitive the first week of summer practice. He's not going to back down from anybody. He's played against high-level competition. He spent 2 years at IMG. I just don't think he was able to really showcase everything that he could do. I think, we saw it enough in his summer of AAU going into his senior year, and then he played up at Schwabenon up in Green Bay. But, I'm really happy for him. He's a great kid. He's a winner. He's smart. He's tough. Just makes a lot of winning plays. He's going to win a lot of basketball games his career.
Hey, Coach, after tonight, is there any consideration to eventually add Amari Allen into the starting lineup, and what were your thoughts on his first start?
Yeah, once we get Houston and Trelly back, we're going to have to figure out who's going to start. Some of that, so we'll essentially have 7 guys that can all, 7 starters is pretty what you're going to have. And a lot of that's going to mainly be determined on the rotations as to how we can get the right guys in together with the other guys off the bench. So, yeah, we can definitely start him. As you see, he played 36 minutes and against a really good team, and he led us in minutes tonight. So he's also a winner and doesn't really care about starting. And to me, you talk like when we pulled Houston out of the starting lineup, and we kind of did that to get the rotations to where we could try to help shore up the defensive rebound and get a little bit more size when you're bringing, him in. I thought, I mean, Houston just like whatever you need to do. I don't really care. Like I don't care about starting. I just want to help the team win. Mari's the same way. So when you got a group of guys that doesn't care about starting, all they want to do is help you win. It's not that hard. You figure it out with the rotations. We get with our analytics company. We'll figure out the best rotations. Starting guy. Like you got London Jimison stepping his game up. He's 3 straight games in double figures. Like he's got to get more minutes now. Like so. When we get everybody healthy and we figure out who needs to play what minutes and what rotations make the most sense, the great thing with coaching this group of guys, I'm down on them for their mentality to not play to their defensive capability for the whole 40 minutes. But I really love this group in that they're all about the right stuff as far as it comes to being a great teammate. Like they all got a lot of Mudita. They're all super happy for each other. I mean, you should have seen them. Like Big Aiden won the hard at with the 8 blocks, and everybody's super happy for him. I mean, and he feels bad. He let his teammates down at the free throw lines in the practice gym working on his free throws right now. So we got a good group. I don't know what the starting lineup will end up looking like once we get totally healthy, but we'll have 5 good starters in there and a bunch of really good players coming off the bench.
You just brought up London, but the 3 games in double figures, he's done it really efficiently. What have you seen from him, and what's he been doing in practice maybe to continue to earn himself more trust, more opportunities for you guys?
He's making tough plays. I mean, I thought he, probably outside of Aiden Sherrill, was our second best post defender tonight. I thought he fought it hard. He showed he's got some fight. He fought pretty hard up at St. John's when we put him in. He took full advantage of the minutes we got him in Vegas, when we were a little short on guys in 3 games in 3 days. And obviously you got to practice well, but he's taking advantage of his minutes in the game. He hasn't made bad decisions. His turnovers, he has 0 turnovers. He's 4 of 7 from the field, 3 of 6 from 3. Obviously, we'd have liked to have the 1 free throw he missed, but he's pretty good at the line. I mean, you go look at his stats, and he's just keeping it real simple and playing hard and making tough physical plays. And when he's been in the game, I'm looking right now, like his defensive leverage was a positive 21. Like, on the 33 possessions he was in, our defense was at 1.09. So I think his defensive capabilities with his length, athleticism, and toughness are showing you. I mean, we were making some subs late game, trying to get LeBaron out with the 4 fouls on defense, so he didn't foul out of the game. And we got 2 freshmen that we're putting in that we trust to get stops, Davion and London. And, he's done well for himself here lately.
Yeah, so LeBaron had 29 tonight and then 29 against Gonzaga. Just what are some of the differences that you saw? Because you said against Gonzaga he could have done a little bit better.
Yeah, I think tonight, I mean, he only had 2 turnovers. If I remember right, he had 5 against Gonzaga. Is that accurate? I can't remember off the top of my head. I thought I did, though. So I didn't think he was, like, forcing it into crowds and make it, he had the one, he turned it over trying to hit the cutter on the baseline. But other than that, I didn't think he just had any careless ones like he did against Gonzaga. He shot it pretty well from 3. I thought he didn't end up with a lot of assists. He only had 3, but we also didn't make shots like for a lot of the second half either. So, in the second half we were 25% from 3. So those are where some of his assists are going to come from. So, man, he's making a lot of winning plays on the offensive end. I thought the start of the game, for those first 10 minutes, he was pretty good on defense. I think the foul trouble might have scared him away from being as aggressive as we need him to be on defense because he's capable and will be an elite defender. And we're trying to get that out of him like he was his freshman year. I thought he's had a great week of practice. Thought he had the start of the game, his mentality was right, and then he got in a little bit of foul trouble. So we're just going to keep working on him to be, best 2-way guard in the country is my challenge to him. Like, got to play both sides of the ball for us to win at the level we're trying to win at.
Coach, you guys held them scoreless, I think, for the last 2:41, made some difficult plays. And I know you weren't pleased with the defense the second half, but they did respond to game pressure. And talk about Millett's, I thought it was maybe the biggest play of the game, offensive board. He gets a deflection, which leads to a Bolbo and 3.
Houston, I think the offensive rebound spray out 3, huge. Houston makes, effort plays, winning plays, tough plays. He's a max effort kind of guy. I thought that 3, and then Amari kicked one out, that kind of loose ball that he ripped away and got it. Thought those 2 were some of the biggest plays late in that game, and they just came from 2 kids that are all about winning and make tough plays. And I don't know who hit the one on Amari, so that might have been Taylor too. I can't remember. But Taylor did make some big shots. We know he's super skilled. We got to get more out of him on the glass. He wasn't bad tonight. In 28 minutes, he had 5 rebounds. We just need a little bit more. He's capable of being an elite rim protector and rebounder. He did it at St. John. So, but yeah, to talk to our defense in the last kind of 2.5 minutes of the game, I think we were down 1. I think we finished on an 8-1 run, if Stevens got it correct. I think they hit the 1 free throw because they missed a few free throws, which helped. We missed plenty ourselves throughout the course of the game, but they missed a few there at the end, which obviously helped late in the game get some of those stops. But, I thought some guys made some big plays. I thought Aiden Sherrill's blocks were huge, and he got some big rebounds there late for us, too. All right, appreciate you guys.